Hello and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. My name is Gustavo. I'm a 22-year-old living out here in Southern California. You most likely clicked on the video because the name of the channel sparked interest with you, or it's just one of those late night recommendations YouTube offers. I can start off by explaining the purpose of this video. And the short answer is just pretty much to give a broad overview of what my intentions are for this channel going forward. I plan to talk about my own personal experiences, about my successes and failures, both past and present, regarding personal finances, personal growth, building wealth, and stuff of that sort. They will also include my thoughts and opinions on the outcome now that I've had time to reflect on them and look back. Maybe you would have taken a different approach. Maybe if you were in my shoes, you feel like the outcome would have been different, or maybe this video is exactly what you need or what you've been looking for. So somebody who's willing to discuss the outcome and analyze that outcome to kind of give you a better idea of what to expect going in. Because some of these decisions, they're inevitable. We're gonna have to make them at some point in our lives. And it can be stressful. There's a lot of pressure with it. What I have to say is not the right way to do things. These are just my thoughts and opinions on stuff I decided to talk about. You may be asking yourself, what qualifies me to be talking about stuff like this? And the answer is honestly nothing. I'm just a guy sitting in his car talking at a phone screen, giving his thoughts and opinions and perspective, on what I've encountered so far. So if you're still interested and you want to see if we're like-minded individuals, then stick around and let me start off by giving a brief intro about myself. So my upbringing was pretty normal, I'd say. Hardworking parents, low middle class family, pretty average in my eyes, which isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not complaining at all. I know I'm very fortunate and blessed, but average has been a generational outcome in my family line as far as I know, and I just want to break that barrier. Successful millennials have gotten creative on how they make their fortune. We're on deck. We're next. And the pressure's on, definitely. We're naive, we're stubborn, but those life-changing opportunities will eventually present themselves, and you're going to want to be prepared. You're not going to want to be left behind. You're not going to want to miss it. I didn't always have this overachieving mindset. I was just a high school graduate who didn't really care much for stuff like credit scores, taxes, or any financial expenditures that came along the way, because it just didn't really seem important to me at that time. I just graduated high school. Freedom was there. I can do whatever I want. I just didn't have my priorities straight. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate when I say I didn't really know what I wanted to do for the majority of my adult life in terms of employment right out of high school. I just had no idea. I didn't have ambition. I wasn't really motivated to pursue anything at the time because I was still figuring myself out. But with a change in mindset and a chip on my shoulder, fast forward 4 years later, and I am the youngest automotive technician at a reputable car dealership, making decent money now. Now, I'm not bringing that up to show off or brag in any way, but more to point out that if I hadn't jumped on opportunities or made some big decisions when they presented themselves, I know I would not be in the position I am today, let alone be in the same field of work. Now, I firmly believe that if you don't look back and cringe at some of the decisions you made or realize that they were mistakes, then be the perfect and none of this applies to you, or you haven't modified your goals enough to the point where you expect more out of yourself and you want to see yourself thrive. You kind of you're okay with where you're at, and that's enough for you, which is fine. Like I said, it's fine. But people like me, I always strive to be better and prove to myself that I can, because where I'm at now is great. I've made it this far, but it's not enough. I'm going to continue to keep striving and reaching for the top, regardless of what it takes. That's just the mindset I have now. So this leads me to my end goal, which is financial freedom. I've had tunnel vision on financial independence for a very long time, but like many, I was scared to take the first steps, get out of my comfort zone, and take risks. Action is the difference between a wish and a dream. It all depends on you. You can't expect something to just fall in your lap and be that life-changing decision. If you really want it, you have to go out and get it yourself. I'm nowhere near as successful as some of the financial YouTubers. I don't own assets. I don't have millions of dollars invested in real estate. I don't have a bunch of money in the stock market or anything like that. I'm starting from very low. very low. Like I've mentioned before, I'm still in the early stages, but I do have stuff in the works that I can't wait to see come into fruition and hopefully eventually share with you guys. Now, I haven't found too many channels that have fit my expectations in terms of giving examples and explaining what it's like starting from basics and working your way up. Most of them already have something to show for it. They're successful in their own way. Now, I'm going to remind you, I am in no way an expert or financial advisor in any area we'll be talking about. Just use my words as encouragement or, like I said, another perspective to kind of help you or guide you, whatever it is you want to take it as. But don't let it be the deciding factor in your situation, because let's face it, you're an adult, you're old enough to make your own decisions. You don't need somebody, making decisions for you. I'm starting my journey almost completely from scratch, and I intend to be transparent to help others avoid my mistakes or embrace on what has worked for me. I do have idea for video content. It might benefit you, it might not, who knows. The only real way to see if it'll work out is for me to give it a shot and see how the community accepts it. For this video, I do encourage feedback, and I would like to hear from you guys, see where you are in life, if you have similar mindset, what strategies you've been taking, and ultimately what your end goal is. Thanks for checking it out, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.